The year is 2024, and humanity stands at the precipice of annihilation as foretold by Nostradamus' cryptic verses. The story follows three individuals whose lives intertwine around an ancient manuscript containing the seer's final prophecies, believed to detail humanity's path to ruin. Their journey unravels the truth behind these cryptic predictions, forcing them to confront their deepest fears and the boundaries of human comprehension. Our story begins in the heart of Paris, where Elias Moreau, a brilliant but reclusive young scholar, resides in a dusty attic filled with esoteric texts. Elias is driven by a haunting past, the mysterious death of his parents and siblings in a fire he narrowly escaped, an incident he blames on a cursed artifact called the Harbinger's Eye. Consumed by guilt and grief, Elias dedicates his life to deciphering ancient prophecies, seeking answers and perhaps redemption in the cryptic verses of Nostradamus. Amidst Elias's solitary existence, a glimmer of hope appears in the form of Professor Adele Laurent, a renowned expert in esoteric studies and Elias' mentor. With her enigmatic charm and vast knowledge, Adele guides Elias on his path to understanding the hidden meanings behind the prophecies. Yet she harbors a secret sorrow, having witnessed the destructive consequences of Nostradamus' predictions during World War II, when her visions of the future led to tragedy and loss. As Elias delves deeper into the enigma of Nostradamus, he enlists the aid of Theo Grant, a prominent journalist whose rational skepticism provides a grounding force to Elias's fervent idealism. Together, they form an unlikely trio united by their fascination with the prophecies, each bringing unique perspectives and experiences to their enigmatic quest. In the hushed silence of Elias's attic, amidst a labyrinth of books and arcane texts, they gather around an ancient manuscript believed to contain Nostradamus's final prophecies. The air grows heavy with anticipation as they decipher the cryptic verses, each word resonating with a chilling familiarity that hints at a grim future for humanity. As they read aloud the haunting verses, a palpable tension fills the room. "The Great One will be no more. A great discord," Elias murmurs, his voice echoing in the dimly lit space. In the weeks that follow, the group witnesses a series of unsettling events that align disturbingly with the predictions in the manuscript. A devastating earthquake strikes Japan, followed by a string of political scandals and escalating tensions in the Middle East. Elias's predictions gain notoriety, attracting both attention and skepticism from the wider world, blurring the line between fact and fiction. Driven by their shared curiosity and a sense of impending doom, the group embarks on a journey to uncover the truth behind these enigmatic prophecies. They travel to various locations mentioned in the manuscript, searching for clues and hidden meanings that could shed light on Nostradamus' cryptic verses. Each location holds its own secrets, weaving a tapestry of mystery that deepens the enigma surrounding the prophecies. Their investigation leads them to an abandoned observatory, where they use an antique telescope to peer into the night sky, seeking celestial alignments that may hold the key to unraveling the prophecies. As they gaze through the lens, they witness a rare comet streaking across the darkness, its path mirroring the trajectory of humanity's fate. As they continue their quest, they encounter a secret society known as the Keepers of the Covenant, who have dedicated their lives to guarding the esoteric knowledge contained within Nostradamus' writings. The Keepers offer guidance and cryptic clues, helping the group navigate the treacherous path towards understanding the prophecies. In a secluded library, Elias discovers a hidden journal belonging to Nostradamus himself. The journal contains personal insights and reflections on the nature of prophecy, providing a glimpse into the seer's own struggles and doubts. Through Nostradamus' words, Elias gains a deeper understanding of the complexities involved in predicting the future. Theo, the pragmatic journalist among them, becomes increasingly troubled by the darker implications of the prophecies. He grapples with questions of free will versus determinism, wondering whether humanity's fate is truly sealed by these ominous predictions. Theo's skepticism serves as a counterbalance to Elias's unwavering belief, keeping their quest grounded in reality. As they delve deeper into the mysteries, the lines between past and present begin to blur. They experience fragmented visions and premonitions that challenge their perception of time and reality itself. These glimpses into the future intensify, leaving them questioning the very fabric of existence. With each passing day, the threat of the approaching comet looms larger in the sky. Its ominous presence serves as a constant reminder of the potential for annihilation that hangs over humanity. The comet becomes a symbol of impending doom, driving the group to seek a way to avert disaster. They seek out a renowned astrophysicist who helps them understand the scientific implications of the comet's trajectory. The group learns that the comet's impact could trigger catastrophic consequences, including massive earthquakes and tidal waves. The looming threat of natural disaster adds urgency to their quest. Through their investigations, they discover that the comet's arrival coincides with an ancient prophecy, foretelling the return of a mythical savior who will lead humanity to salvation. This revelation sparks a glimmer of hope, suggesting that amidst the darkness, a chance for redemption and renewal remains. However, the path to salvation is fraught with challenges and sacrifices. They must confront their own inner demons and make difficult choices that will determine the fate of humanity. Their personal journeys become intertwined with the destiny of the world. As the comet draws closer, the group faces a crucial decision that will shape the course of history. They must choose between revealing the prophecy of the Savior to bring hope to humanity, or keeping it secret to prevent mass hysteria and chaos. Their choice carries profound ethical implications, forcing them to confront the responsibility that comes with knowledge of the future. Meanwhile, Elias's visions intensify, revealing a horrifying glimpse of the comet's impact on the world. Cities are reduced to ashes, survivors flee in terror, and the environment is irreparably damaged. The apocalyptic imagery shakes him to his core, fueling his determination to find a way to avert the impending disaster. Theo, torn between his disbelief and the mounting evidence, begins to experience his own premonitions of the future. He sees firsthand the devastation that awaits them and feels the weight of responsibility to find a solution. His skepticism gives way to a desperate hope for a miracle. The climax arrives as the comet reaches its closest point to Earth, casting an eerie shadow over the world. Tensions reach a fever pitch, and the group prepares for the worst. The atmosphere crackles with anticipation as the comet's impact seems imminent. In a moment of inspiration, Elias realizes that the prophecy of the Savior can be interpreted metaphorically, referring not to a single individual, but to the collective efforts of humanity to heal and rebuild. This realization offers a beacon of hope, suggesting that the future is not predetermined but malleable through human action. Working together, the group rallies the world's leaders and scientists to take action based on Elias's cryptic warnings. A global effort is made to mitigate the damage caused by the comet's impact, uniting humanity in a common purpose for the greater good. The impact occurs, but the world is spared total annihilation due to the preparations made possible by Elias's visions. In the aftermath, humanity emerges transformed, united by the shared experience of near destruction and inspired to build a better future. The story concludes with a sense of renewal as humanity enters a new era, guided by lessons learned from the past. The prophecies of Nostradamus serve as a reminder of the fragility of civilization and the importance of collective action. The characters, forever changed by their experiences, continue their work in unraveling the mysteries of the cosmos, driven by a newfound purpose to safeguard humanity's future. And so the tale of Nostradamus' legacy lives on, reminding us that even in the darkest hours, hope and resilience can guide us towards a brighter tomorrow. If you enjoyed this thrilling tale of mystery and prophecy, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow adventure seekers. Let the spirit of Nostradamus' enigmatic visions ignite your imagination. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time and destiny. Until next time, keep exploring the boundless realms of possibility. The story began with the eclipse's shadow lifting over Paris, leaving the city bathed in an unnatural twilight. In a sterile hospital room, Elias lay still, his body betraying the tempest of prophecies that raged within his mind. Delirious mutterings spilled from his lips, nurses hastily crossing themselves as they cared for him. The room's stark light cast his face in pallid hues, like a saint in torment. Outside, the world reeled from the leaked video of Elias's prophecy session. Nostradamus 2024 Doomsdays echoed with eerie accuracy. Each quatrain found its footing in current events. The dry earth will grow parched, whispered of California's wildfires raging unchecked. Great floods when the rainbow is seen, resonated with Europe's deluges that submerged entire villages. People fell prey to terror, hoarding supplies, huddling in shadows. Cults formed in the darkness, preparing for the end. In the midst of this pandemonium sat Adele, her hand bandaged where the pendant's shards had pierced. By Elias's bedside, her silver hair disheveled like storm-tossed clouds. Her soul was a wreckage of guilt and grief. She had encouraged his studies, seeing in him the son she never had, yet now realized her guidance had led him to this precipice. Her tragic mentorship, a poison she couldn't antidote. Meanwhile, Theo's video went viral, amassing millions of views. He faced a storm of fame, besieged by interviewers seeking more. His apartment, a fortress of locked doors and drawn curtains, his mind fracturing under the weight. His skepticism was gone, replaced by belief that the prophecies were self-fulfilling. His tragic fate, a slide into paranoia. He saw signs everywhere, shadows in corners whispering quatrain. As the days passed, the mystery deepened with every uncanny event that unfolded. A major political assassination in the Middle East played out as predicted. The young lion overcomes the old. Stock markets crashed, mirroring the great chain broken. The world trembled as Nostradamus' words seemed to script reality. One evening, Elias awoke briefly, his eyes wild with vision. He recounted a quatrain, a new pope rising amid flames, interpreted as the sudden conclave following the previous pope's scandal. His voice, a rasp that sent chills through the room. Nurses fled in fear. Adele recorded his words, her pencil flying across pages, her inner conflict peaking. She believed the prophecies could be averted with knowledge, yet each revelation accelerated the chaos. Her tragic hope, a flickering candle in the gale. Theo broadcast live from his apartment, his camera shaking as he decoded more. "War with the dragon," he said, as tensions with China escalated, missiles testing the skies like fiery omens. His audience grew, but so did the threats. Anonymous messages warning of silence or death. Amidst this unfolding terror, more pieces of the puzzle surfaced. A long-lost Nostradamus quatrain appeared in a French auction, speaking of the year of the Great Schism, 2024. Bidding erupted like battles, the winner remaining anonymous. Rumors swirled. World leaders were collecting them to gain power. Back at the hospital, Elias slipped back into a coma. His body convulsed as if battling invisible forces, his cries muffled by machines. Doctors were baffled by his symptoms. Fever without infection, visions defying science, the hospital room somber, lit by machines that beeped like a countdown to doomsday. Determined, Adele and Theo united their efforts. They pored over ancient books in a library's dusty alcove, the air thick with aged paper and foreboding. They discovered Nostradamus' ties to occult societies, his prophecies perhaps channeled from other dimensions. Their alliance, a fragile bond against the unfolding terror. And then came the quatrain's final twist. Spring bloomed into chaos around them as droughts parched farmlands, floods swallowed cities, and the world on edge. Leaders convened in emergency summits, their faces, masks of fear hidden behind diplomacy. In the hospital, Elias's condition worsened. His mutterings, now public via leaked recordings, terrified masses with predictions of plague worse than war, interpreted as a new virus variant sweeping continents. Hospitals overflowed like rivers breaching their banks. Adele, her hand scars throbbing like omens, delved deeper into Nostradamus' life. She traveled to the French countryside, Salon de Provence's ruins where the seer had written, standing amidst rolling hills under stormy skies. Her research uncovered his use of scrying mirrors to peer into futures. Her tragic quest, a mirror to his own. Visions began to afflict her. Glimpses of 2024's end in fire and flood. Theo's broadcasts grew frantic, his apartment a bunker of charts and clippings. Viewers hung on his words as he linked quatrains to current events. The king driven out as royal abdications rocked monarchies. Great discord as protests ignited cities like tinder. His mind unraveled, plagued by hallucinations of Nostradamus visiting him in dreams. The seer's face a mask of sorrow, warning of misuse. Theo's tragic fame, a noose tightening as death threats poured in. His isolation, a self-imposed prison. Then came the grand finale, the global event foretold in the quatrains, a solar eclipse in April 2024. Quatrains spoke of darkness at noon bringing the beast, interpreted as power outages and cyber attacks plunging nations into chaos. The world watched in terror as prophecies aligned with terrifying precision. In the hospital, Elias awoke in a frenzy, prophesying the Antichrist's rise in the east, his body arching as if possessed. Doctors restrained him as the room's lights flickered like failing stars. Adele rushed to his side. The pendant had reformed in her visions, her arrival coinciding with an earthquake shaking the hospital, walls cracking like fate's decree. Theo joined via video call, his face gaunt, sharing a breakthrough. Nostradamus codes hidden in star alignments for 2024, predicting a comet's pass as fire from the sky. The world watched skies in terror. The three were united in crisis, but cracks had appeared. Adele doubted the prophecies' inevitability. Theo embraced them as destiny. Elias trapped in visions that ravaged his body. The mystery reached its peak with a summons from the catacomb. A secret society descended from Nostradamus. Protectors contacted Theo, offering a ritual to avert the Doomsday. Their meeting set in a Paris catacomb. As they descended, lanterns cast grotesque shadows on skulls, the air thick with dust and dread. The society's leader revealed a mirror like the seer's, but it reflected not faces, but futures of ruin. The group's tragic convergence, a step toward the abyss, where prophecies became self-fulfilling. The catacombs' chill seeped into bones like the cold hand of fate. The ritual commenced in the catacombs' heart. Candles arranged in a star pattern that mirrored Nostradamus' charts, the mirror at the center reflecting flickering flames like eyes from beyond. The society's chants, a low hum that vibrated bones like the earth's own groan. Elias, wheeled in, frail and fevered, served as conduit, his body positioned before the mirror, his visions amplifying as the comet streaked the sky above, visible through a grating like a fiery omen. Adele held his hand, her scars aching as if alive. Her doubt clashed with the desperate hope that the right could rewrite the prophecies. Her tragic wisdom, a light dimming in the gloom. Theo intoned from the book, his voice steady, but eyes wild. The society's members encircled them in hooded robes, their faces masked like ghosts of the past. The mirror shimmered, images of 2024's terrors unfolding. Wars escalating, plagues mutating, natural disasters ravaging. But the ritual promised to seal the Doomsday, channeling Nostradamus' spirit to alter fate. Mystery enveloped them as the comet's pass peaked. The mirror cracked like thunder, visions pouring forth like a flood. Elias convulsed as he saw the Antichrist as a figure of power rising amid discord, his screams a haunting echo in the bone-lined walls. Adele saw her own death in the glass, a sacrifice to balance the scales. Her hand slipped from Elias's as energy surged, her body collapsing in a heap. Her tragic end, a voluntary offering to the unknown. Her last breath, a sigh that extinguished a candle. Theo, witnessing the horror, felt the madness claim him. The society's chants turned to screams as portals opened in the mirror, pulling members into voids of swirling chaos, their bodies distorted like wax in flame. He smashed the mirror in frenzy, shards flying like stars exploding. But the prophecies sealed their fates. Elias expired in a final vision of 2024's salvation through sacrifice. His body still as stone, his tragic role, a vessel broken by the weight of foresight. Theo, the lone survivor, emerged from the catacombs into a world unchanged. The prophecies' terrors subsided as if the rite had worked, but his mind was shattered. Wandering the streets, raving of averted doomsdays, he was institutionalized as a madman whose warnings were dismissed. His tragic fame, a curse of disbelief. The world moved on. 2024's events, wars, disasters, scandals faded into history, but whispers of Nostradamus lingered, terrifying anew with each interpretation. The society's remnants watched from shadows. The mystery endured as a cycle of fear and fascination. The attic now empty, holding echoes of their voices. The manuscript's pages turning in windless rooms, a haunting reminder that prophecies, once awakened, never truly sleep. Their terror, a baroque canvas of human frailty, where mystery invites the abyss. As 2024 drew to a close, whispers echoed through the cobwebbed halls of history. They spoke of an ancient evil quelled, of a prophet silenced, and of a looming darkness that humanity had cheated, but not conquered. With the rite's echoes fading into the catacombs' silence, Theo stumbled into Paris dawn, the city awakening under a sky streaked with comet's tail, the world oblivious to the night's horrors. As news ticked of averted crises, peace talks in the Middle East, vaccines quelling outbreaks, leaders stabilizing amid scandals, Theo's mind was a shattered vessel. Visions of the mirror's voids replayed like endless reels, whispers of Nostradamus urging him to spread the word. His tragic survival, a curse of solitude amid a world he had helped save. He returned to the attic, the manuscript waiting like a patient predator, its pages open to quatrains he now saw as blueprints for reality, his pencil scribbling interpretations that predicted 2024's resolution, but hinted at greater terrors in years beyond. Adele's pendant, salvaged from the shards, hung around his neck, warming unnaturally as if her spirit lingered. Her sacrifice a haunting presence that drove him to write a book, Nostradamus' Shadow, detailing the prophecies' terror and their near fulfillment. The manuscript's influence twisting his words into prophecies of their own. Readers flocked, terrified by the alignment's droughts easing with rains, floods receding. But Theo's health deteriorated, headaches like hammers forging his fate, his tragic legacy a warning ignored as fame grew. Elias's body was interred in a quiet cemetery, his grave unmarked but visited by cultists, who saw him as a martyr, flowers wilting unnaturally fast, as if the earth rejected his rest. His visions living on in Theo's writings, a haunting echo of foresight's cost. The society's survivors, scattered like leaves in wind, reformed in hidden enclaves, their rites evolving to monitor new prophets, their existence a mystery that fueled conspiracies. The comet's pass a catalyst for global awakenings, where people reported dreams of Nostradamus, terrifying the world with shared visions of future dooms. Theo's book became a bestseller, but critics dismissed it as fiction, his interviews turning frantic as he raved of the Antichrist's subtle rise in politics, his appearance gaunt, eyes wild with the mirror's residue. The mystery deepened as 2024's events mirrored the quatrains perfectly, a great discord in elections, fire from the sky as meteor showers lit nights, the world on edge as if the prophecies breathed life into reality. Theo's final broadcast from the attic camera shaking revealed the manuscripts, pages blanking one by one as if the seer reclaimed his words. His voice, a plea for vigilance, the pendant shattering in his hand like his sanity glass shards embedding in flesh like stars fallen to earth. He collapsed, heart failing under the strain, his tragic end, a quiet death amid the book's fading ink. The world left to interpret the terror he unveiled. The prophecies endured, 2024's close, bringing relief but lingering fear. The manuscript vanishing into private collections, its mystery a cycle renewing with each generation. a haunting reminder that Doomsday's averted birth knew shadows. In the annals of human memory, there are moments that stand out, not as triumphs or tragedies, but as turning points, moments when the veil between foresight and hindsight is thinnest. Such a moment occurred on December 21, 2024, when the world collectively exhaled, convinced it had cheated the jaws of disaster. Nostradamus's prophecies, once distant specters, loomed alarmingly close, forcing humanity to confront questions it had long shelved. What if the ancient seer wasn't just a mystic, but a grim cartographer of fate? And if so, where does the map lead us next? In the aftermath of the averted apocalypse, Theo, haunted by the visions that had spared the world, found himself at a crossroads. His tragic ordeal had peeled back layers of reality, revealing a world teetering on the edge of cataclysm, held only by threads of chance and circumstance. Now, with the calendar flipped to 2025, humanity seemed to slumber, unaware of the storm it had weathered. The weight of this realization pressed upon Theo, threatening to crush him. The faces of the lost, etched in his memory, mocked him with their accusing silence. Their sacrifice, their trust, their lives, all seemed to be a prelude to a greater tragedy that still loomed on the horizon. Yet amidst this despair, a flicker of purpose ignited within him. Theo realized he was more than a survivor. He was a witness, a living testament to the fragility of existence and the audacity of hope. His mission, he knew, was to bear witness, to ensure that the echoes of the past didn't fade into oblivion. In the eerie silence of the attic, surrounded by the ghosts of his companions, Theo began his work. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, he delved into the cryptic verses of Nostradamus, searching for guidance, for answers. The manuscript, once a harbinger of doom, now became his anchor, its archaic script a lifeline to a world on the brink. As the first rays of dawn filtered through grimy window panes, Theo deciphered the verses, not as prophecies of impending doom, but as echoes of tragedies narrowly averted. The world outside was basking in the glow of New Year's hope, but Theo's gaze was fixed on the abyss. He saw in the averted disasters the seeds of future threats, a world forever teetering on the edge of catastrophe. Driven by a mix of grief, determination, and fear, Theo penned his findings. Each stroke of his pen was a battle against the encroaching darkness, each word a flickering candle in the gathering gloom. Months crawled by, each day etching lines of worry onto Theo's face, mirroring the furrowed brows and worried glances of readers worldwide. His book, Nostradamus' Shadow, became a sensation, pulling back the curtains on the hidden script that had almost orchestrated humanity's demise. The public, initially thrilled by the averted disasters, now grappled with the sobering truth they had merely postponed their fate. The world recoiled, horrified and intrigued, desperate to make sense of the looming uncertainties that lay ahead. Theo found himself thrust into the limelight, his every word dissected, his every tremor interpreted as a sign of impending doom. Cameras flashed, microphones were thrust in his face, each question echoing the same primal fear: what next? But Theo was no longer the timid scholar. The fires of adversity had tempered his spirit, forging him into a beacon of somber certainty. He spoke of subtle omens, of converging timelines, of a world inexorably hurtling towards the precipice. His audience, captivated and terrified, hung on his every word, searching for solace in the storm. Theo, however, found no comfort in the spotlight. With each interview, his grip on reality seemed to fray, his eyes betraying the torment within. The closer he peered into the abyss, the more the abyss stared back, threatening to consume him whole. In secluded moments, wrestling with the manuscript's cryptic verses, Theo felt the icy fingers of dread tighten around his heart. The averted disasters of 2024 were but a lull before the storm, a deceptive calm before the tempest. He saw in the manuscript's timeless script a chilling tableau of events aligning with eerie precision. As 2025 waned, the world watched, waited, holding its breath. For Nostradamus' shadow loomed larger, casting an ominous pall over the horizon. And then it happened. A tremor, a jolt, a sudden inexplicable calamity. The world reeled, caught off guard by the cruel hand of fate. And as the dust settled and the shockwaves subsided, a haunting realization dawned. Nostradamus, the cryptic seer, had once again proven his prophetic prowess. The prophecy had unfolded, not in the grand, dramatic fashion many had anticipated, but in the subtle, insidious ways that often precede monumental shifts. It was a masterclass in foreshadowing, a testament to the seer's uncanny ability to peer into the labyrinthine corridors of time. In the hushed tones that followed, a new question arose, not of if, but of when would the next prophecy strike. Humanity's dance with destiny was far from over. The averted disaster of 2024 had been merely an intermission in a play of cosmic proportions. The script was written in stars and shadows, and the cast of characters, both celestial and human, were inexorably drawn into its enigmatic narrative. As we close the book on this harrowing tale, let us remember that while prophecies may serve as guideposts on the timeline, our destinies are not immutable. Every choice, every action ripples through the tapestry of fate, weaving new patterns, altering the course of events. The story of Theo and the Society of the Crimson Veil serves as a stark reminder of this. Their journey, a cautionary tale of foresight and folly, urging us to tread carefully in the shadow of prophecy. We are left to ponder the unsettling truth. The future is unwritten, yet its echoes reverberate through time. It is up to us, the readers, the witnesses, the inheritors of an uncertain legacy, to navigate the labyrinth of fate, ensuring that the horrors of the past do not become the haunting refrain of the future.